Okay, it's recording now. Well, you guys know, you guys have learned so far, right? We missed a little bit, but it's okay. So you could go in here, and then if you, let's delete all this. And if your delimiter is, say, for example, pipe, right? If the delimiter is pipe, you know which key is pipe on your keyboard? I'll show you. Okay, this key is a pipe here. When you hold the shift key and you see this vertical line, when you press this, it will give you a pipe. Simple as that. It's called pipe. P-I-P-E. So we have this text file with the pipe as a delimiter. So let's see how that would work. Okay, Shift:X to exit out of it. And we use the same command. Instead of colon, we're going to put in the pipe because that's what the delimiter is. And hit enter, and it will bring you back the field 2 and field 4. And then here, okay, if you don't want a pipe, you could put a hyphen in there, and it bring you back with the hyphen. And definitely you could save this to a file. How would you redirect this to the file? Anybody? You use this command, right? Greater than sign. Or you could use 2 greater than sign, because if you have it existing file, you could use that and it will write to that file also. And then you could type result.txt. When I hit enter, nothing will be displayed on your screen, but it will go to the text file name result. Okay, let's go and look at the result. It's there. Did you get it? That's nothing new, right? What I just did, redirecting. This part is nothing new for you guys, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. So, all right, we could go ahead and go in there, and we could manipulate more. All right. So we've been playing around with this hyphens here. So this one is pipe. What if we have like hash in here? Okay, so we're gonna save and exit this. Let's see what will happen here. So the delimiter is hash, and then we want to get the output out of with nothing like a space. Okay, so yeah, not that one. We'll use the text file name result. Okay, so what it did here is it ran through it, and then it wherever it saw the hash, Probably this one has a hash there, right? So it removed that and placed it with the space. Okay, this is how the file was, and then this is what it gave us. So it kept the original wherever it didn't have the hash in there, and wherever the hash is, it looked through it, and then we told him only give like first and fourth field. So it went through first, it gave us the first field and then the fourth field. There you go. Okay. No, actually, we asked for the second field and the fourth field. So this is the second field and then the fourth field. So let's see here. Second field and the fourth field. The one pipe is already in the first field, so it didn't filter through that. So it's looking only in these files, in this line, and then it's filtering that, and then keeping the original content in there. So you get the idea. You could use all kind of things to manipulate the files and get the output. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at the real world file here. So I'm going to cat etc. There is a file named cat etc password. It keeps the data, some kind of data. We'll learn about this later. So as you can see, this file is using separating the data using colon, right? So we could definitely use this to separate the data and then bring out the fields here. So let's see if this would work. So we'll type cut command, cut. Then I want I'm going to give the delimiter is colon. Okay, because I see colon is everywhere here. And then I'm going to tell give me field 1 and field 3 on the file name, which file you want to do this on. This is the file I'm telling it to run it on. Okay, and let's see what comes out. Okay, so what it did was it went through first column and then grab all that, and then it skipped the second one and it went on to the third field, because we told it to get the first field and the third field. So you could verify the last one here. Last here one was TCP dump, and then skip the second field and it brought you the third field. Do you guys get the idea what's happening here? Because you will definitely come across files like this, and you're using this to filter it out. And there is another command that's called awk. It works similarly like the cut command, but it is more efficient. So let's see if the awk is installed. You type which awk and hit enter. So awk is definitely installed. Okay, so let's work on the password file again using the awk command. So the format for using awk command is you type awk awk, and then you open the quotes and then curly brackets, close it, and then print, and you just type $1 for the field 1 and space comma $field 3. Okay, this is the format you have to follow. There is no way around it. Awk, and then you start with the single quote, and then you type print in the curly bracket print, and then the field names you want to give it to it, and then the file name. And simply you hit enter. And I don't think it's working. Cat etc. Let's try it on okay. So the reason it's not working is that we forgot to give it a delimiter here. This one works perfectly when there is no delimiter here. Let's try removing the delimiter first, and we'll see if it's going to work. Okay. This is working when the delimiter is only the space. Okay, so let's see command. Okay, this is pretty nice and clean clean file for the awk to work, right? It doesn't have to work hard. It's just grabbing the field 1 and field 3. All right, let's take a look here how it's going to work if there is a delimiter in the middle. Give me 1 second. Okay, so now for the awk command, well, what you could do is you could use the field separator. So let's see here. Let me go back here and start putting pipe, 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 pipe. Okay, the reason this command is not working is because there is a field separator in here in the middle. It's called pipe. So it's a field separator is nothing but a delimiter. So for that to work, what you have to do is you have to go space hyphen uppercase F. When you type uppercase F hyphen uppercase F, it's telling that it's a field separator. And what is a field separator over here? Colon. Then you type pipe. Okay, and let's see what happens here. It worked. Did you get it? So if the data is clean and all that, you could definitely use the awk command, and then cut command is there, but awk command is more efficient. When you start working out a lot more, you would know how efficient this awk command is. So the important thing is, if you remember this, like to a couple of these formats, then you should be good, and you could play around with it on your own and then manipulate it. So let me put this in the notes here. Give me 1 second. By the way, I don't think anybody had a chance to go through the videos here. I don't see anybody watching it. Did anybody have a chance to watch it?
Not the newest one, no.
Okay, so yeah, it was. I was looking at how many views it has. It doesn't have any views. Did I talk about the find command already? I think so, right? You use the find command using the name or the inode number.
Yes, I think you did.
Okay. All right. So let's see here. Star. I talk about the gzip and gunzip. Gzip is to compress the file, and gunzip to uncompress it. And then tar is to archive it. Yeah, we already went through this here. And then output the difference between the existing. There is a star command here. I'll go over this later because I have to cover something else. Then I will cover a star command. Let me see if the star command is installed. Yeah, it's not installed. I'll install it when I'm about to talk about star command. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about was I want to check if you guys are, spending some time on VI editor, because if we go move forward, working through the VI editor is very important. Like here, how I have been going through the VI, what I've been like copying and pasting and deleting. It's not that I'm not putting too much effort in there, because once Linux is mostly based on text files. As you can see, it's everything is in dark window. So practicing this and then having a good command of these commands are really important, because you will be like manipulating a huge amount of data when you're really working through this. So navigate to left, right. I mean, I would say like spend out of your 2 hours every day, spend like 15 minutes on this, and then whatever time it takes to go down, up and down here. I'm going to clean this up a little bit here. I'm going to remove the things we haven't talked about. That way there is no more confusion. And then I want to see if I could start. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I want to see if we could start scripting today. All right, so we'll start a little bit of scripting today. That way you know how the scripting works. So let's see here. When I use there is a command called echo, and then I type echo hello, and it returns hello. Okay, so let's type echo hello world. It returns hello world. Okay, do you see what's happening? This is an echo command, which is a built into Linux. Actually, it's built into Unix. It's coming all the way when the Unix was invented, and then it carried on to Linux distribution also. So this is a really important. What it does is you type echo, and then after that, whatever you type, it will repeat that back to you. So there is nothing but a simple echo command. Let's see if we could put it in quotes and see what is going to bring it back. So when you type something echo in quotes, what it does, it removes the quotes, and then it brings this back. Okay, does it make sense so far?
It makes sense, but why would you want to do that? Why would you want to have it type something that you just typed?
Okay, good. That makes good, so let's see here. Very good question. Does it make sense here? It says echo, enter your name. So you see where it's going, right? Now we are getting into an interactive mode. So we're asking a user to enter your name, but it went down to the prompt.
Oh, okay.
So what we could do is, now we are telling, when you type a name, we'll tell the system to read what you're going to type. So we'd say like read name and then hit enter. And then I type Chris. Okay, so I created a variable name. So read is something which is built in, and then I gave it a name. I created a variable on the fly, and we name it a name. So I told the system to read name, and I hit enter. So when you type Chris, we went to second line, right? But now we want to echo, we want to read your input, what you have typed in there. To do that, all you have to do is echo, then a dollar, and it's in the memory now. So I'm gonna keep typing in there, is gonna keep bringing back Chris, unless I go back here and hit enter, and then hit enter again. Now when I type this, what is gonna happen? Because it's not bringing anything back, because I didn't give it any other answer here. My answer was blank. So now the name variable, it took that answer as blank, and then it's saving it as a name. Now it went in there. Then when I call that answer, what you type in there, you didn't type anything. You type blank, so it's bringing the answer as blank. So let's see, read, and hit enter. So when I type this, what's going to bring back here now? The answer.
Yep.
It's going to keep that answer forever until you restart the host or clear it up. Okay, so we learned two commands. One is echo, other one is read. Pretty simple. So let's see here. So what we're going to do now is we could do some arithmetic calculations here. So we'll write a line there, echo add two numbers. Okay. Okay, so it says add two numbers, so it brought back the result, two numbers. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll tell the Unix command to add two numbers. So we'll say here enter, or would say read num1. Okay, hit enter. So you give the number one, you want to give it a number, so just type 5 in there. It could be any number, I'm just using 5. So what happened is it read your input, and then it's saved in the memory. So we'll say echo. So I want to bring back what you have typed as number 5. You have noticed what I did to bring back what's in the memory, right? So I want to bring this back. What do I do now? What do I type now? Yeah, you got it. Say it. What do you have to type to bring it back the result, what you type here, right? Would I type
Echo
dollar?
name. No, number.
Yeah, dollar num.
Oh, dollar. No.
Okay, so we're just adding a dollar in here. Echo dollar. Echo means it's going back and reading num1. So it's 5. Now we're going to tell the system to ask you to put in the number 2, read num2, and then I'm putting in 4 and hit enter. And then go back up here and see 2. All right, let's do num1 and num2. Echo num2. Okay, hopefully it will bring back 5 and 4. It did. Right? Now num1 is 5, num2 is 4. So whenever you call echo num1, num2 is going to be 5 and 4 because you told the system. System asks you what do you want to be num1. You give the num1 5, and system asks you what do you want the num2 be, and you told the system to be 4. And then when we are asking the system what is num1 and num2, the system is simply telling num1 is 5 because you type 5, num2 is 4 because you type 4. And then when you're doing it again, it will. It's right now it's not saved anywhere. It's in the RAM, sitting in the RAM memory. So now I want to add num1 and num2. So what I'm going to do is this is a built-in command. You type sum equal, and then to add num1 and num2, you have to use the backtick. This is the backtick right here. Can you see on the screen? Backtick?
Yes. Sorry to interrupt you. Bashar was asking if you could unmute his mic. He can't ask a question. He asked it in the chat.
What's the question?
Bashar said he's unable to ask a question. He thinks he's muted. He was asking if you could unmute him or something.
Okay. No, he's unmuted already.
Okay. He just put it in the chat. I was just relaying the message.
What is in the chat? Oh, what is the question asked in the chat?
He says, could you unmute my mic?
That's it?
Well, it says why mic. I don't know if he means my or your mic. My, yes.
Well, his is unmuted.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Yeah. Can you hear me? He probably could hear us.
Yeah, maybe Bashar tried to log out and like close the app and come back in. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, log in. So when you take your arrow down here, well, mine is up here now. But when you take your arrow around on the bottom of the screen, that's where you will see it. Is that how it's for you guys, right?
Yeah, that's how I see mine.
Okay, it's different for me. So you have to use the. Okay, he left. We'll give it a few minutes here. Is he in?
Hello?
Yeah, I could hear you.
Okay.
Is that Bashar?
Yes, yes.
Do
No,
you
I
have a
was,
question?
no, fine, but I was talking like just, I feel you guys cannot hear me. Don't know what
Yeah,
happened.
we couldn't. Now we could.
Okay.
Okay, so to add those two numbers, here's the formula, okay? You have to type sum. Sum means, it's a basic math. Sum is like adding up, right? And then there's a command expr. You have to type this expression. What expr stands for is expression. And then the expression is to add a num1 and then plus dollar num2 and then close the code using backtick. Okay, I push the same button here, backtick. Okay, and then I hit enter. So nothing happens, right? But what you have to do is you have to type echo $sum. Okay, any questions? We made first num, we gave it a first number. It asked us the question, so we gave it answer 5. The second one we 4, and then we are adding it here. Sum equal expression num plus 2. Okay, so we don't really have to give it a sum. We made that up, so we could give it addition. We could just give it add. Okay, equals x. We are just doing, when we type expr, and then we could do minus plus over here, whatever we want, but it has to start with expr and hit enter. And if you type echo sum, it gave you that, but let's type echo add, it gave you that too. Okay,
Okay, my question here, like add and sum, this is something not built in. You just type it. You can't type anything, yes?
you could type anything.
Okay, just to save it, like.
Yeah, it's saving the placeholder. You type Bashar, and then we do echo Bashar. So the result, instead of giving this, the result is over here.
So it's like similar to alias?
No.
This is for output.
Yeah, it's for output. If you the alias is like if you type Bashar.
Yeah, it will ask you to make action alias.
Yeah, you have to type alias, then Bashar equal, and then expression that one. Alias is actually using as a command. But yeah, that's a good question. You could definitely use the alias in there. Okay, so far we typed in there. It's all in the dark space here. We can't really see anything in there. So what we have to do is we're gonna put all that in a file. We could put all this in a file, right? I mean, it's pretty inconvenient, right? Somebody have to actually type in there and do that, and then it's like going into the black screen. Doesn't make any sense. So what we could do is we could create a special file name. It's called a script. So let's do vi. Maybe we'll create a file name touch, touch, old-fashioned way, and then we'll give it a name script. One, and then you have to type sh. If you type txt, it becomes a text file. If you type sh, it becomes a script file. Touch script one.sh, and we'll take a look ls, and it has .sh at the end. Okay, it's not going to be the same file as the txt file, but we'll learn a little bit later today that what .sh would do for you. So let's clear that up, and then let me open the script.sh in a vi editor, and then whatever we have typed so far, we're going to type in here. Okay, so let me open another window, duplicate, root, password. Can somebody remind me, what do I say about password? You should always share your password, right?
No.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go up, instead of typing me, I'm lazy. So instead of doing that, I'm going to go up here. And then let's copy everything what we did so far, okay? From here. Does it make sense? Let's go up all the way up here. Okay, let's do copy this, paste it here. Okay. Are you getting so far what I'm doing?
Yes.
Okay. These are all the steps we did so far.
Isn't there a way where you could just select everything you had already done that was open in the VI file, and then copy that and then paste it instead of having to go through each line like you're doing?
Yeah, let's have it in history. Let me type history. All right, there it is. Good idea, man. When you type a history command, it tells you all the commands you have typed. Apparently, I've typed 588 commands so far. So let's see here.
So it will show it for you in sequence?
Is sequence, yeah. I type history, then before that I type this, then you could go all the way up. And then I think if I type this number here, it will do that. So let's see here. Let me type clear 583. No, it didn't work. So you have to type history. I'll get back to you on that, how to, you could go up there and then just bring it back.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be quicker, if you had like that file or that script you'd already written open, if there's a way to select everything and then copy it right into the new, right, VM or whatever.
So, but I don't want to copy these numbers here. So let's see, we'll work it out. And we copied, enter your name, read name.
So if you don't want to copy the numbers, then you could skip that by changing the delimiter or something, right?
Well, you have to save it to the file, and then you have to manipulate all that. So let's see if you could try my trick. Okay, so let's see here. Rename echo dollar name. So all right, so let's see if it's gonna work here. Okay. Okay. Now let's see something else here. ls-l. Okay, look at the permissions here. This is an executable file, but we don't have any permissions to execute it. Nobody has permission to execute it, right? So what do I have to do now? We have to change the permissions.
chmod.
Exactly, very good. chmod. And then just remember this on the back of the mind is the permissions we normally give to this kind of file is 755. Script.
The file 644, Zafar,
You could you could give whatever you want as long as this has become execute for everybody. Execute, execute, execute. Because this one was already 5, so we're adding one more, 2 more, 1, 3, 4, right? No, what? How was the permissions? First one is 4, second one is 3, and the last one is no 4, 2, 1, right? The permissions.
Yes.
I have it in the notes here.
Yeah, 421, yes.
4, 2, 1. All right.
Yeah, read, write, execute 421.
Okay. So the old permissions were
644.
right here.
It was
644.
Yeah.
So then we made it to 7 because number 2 is x is x carries how much? 2, right? Or 1? Anyway.
X1, yes.
Okay. So we gave it 5 because it already was 4. Then we added 1, so it became 5. It was already 4. Read is 4. Then we add
755. You turn it to 755.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The original was 644, right?
Yeah, now you make it 755.
Yeah, so we made it 7 because the original was already 6. We add 1, execute, so it makes it 7 here.
Mm-hmm.
and then
It was
original was 4 because it was only read.
you
Then
make
we
it
want to give
read and
execute, so
execute.
we add number 1 to it. It become 5 and 5, same thing. Okay. So to run a file like this, you have to type a period and a slash right here on the keyboard, period and a forward slash. Then you have to type the file name. We'll see if it's going to work or not. It's working. It says hello world. Okay, let's go ahead and okay, it ran through this. Okay, and now it's running this, and it's waiting. It's running this command. After this command, it stops because it's waiting for your input. Okay, I typed Chris. Okay, then the next one is we read it. We put in the command to read what you have typed. So it's over here now. Did you get it? Everybody with me, right? So what you have typed, it repeated there. Now we are telling it to it's asking us, we put in a name here, it's asking us to give the name here again. So we could type Chris again, or we could type Bashar. And then it gave us a name Bashar because it's over here. So it read through it. It's over here. So it's we put Bashar for this line, and it read line Bashar, and then it gave the output Bashar, and it's over here now. And then we type Ali, and then it says Ali is here. Then it's on this command here. Echo add 2 numbers. Okay, is this clear so far?
Okay, now my question, like did dot dash slash script take you to the VI editor?
What slash?
Now, when you mentioned like
no, it's on a different screen here. I did a VI on this screen, and over here it's running the script. What we have typed all this on the command line, and now we put it all this in a file, so it's automatically running it. We're not typing it again and again.
Yeah, I get you, but it's taking from different file, yes?
No, it's taking from this file. Script, we ran this when we type a command like this, a dot, a period, and a slash, and then this is the script we created, right? I created this script right in front of you.
Yeah, I see it in the other screen, but you create that one on the different page, yes?
Yeah, I created here. It's the same. It's a 2 sessions. So I'm opening another duplicate session. So
exactly, but the previous one, you were in the VI editor or no?
I'm in a VI editor right now. On this here, I was in a VI editor right now. I'm VI editor here. So I'm opening this file on the second screen so that you could visualize this.
But you are taking from where the data? You're taking the data from the VI editor, from the first one, from the first screen.
From the first screen. This is the first screen. This is the first screen.
But he take each thing you wrote it as a comment, as a order, yes.
Yes, the order is flowing in the order here. Yes.
Okay. So the link between them, this one dot slash script as such.
Yeah, when we changed it and then we type it as SSH, right? So.
But that's well, like what you make here. Why you make 755? Why you change the mode?
Very good question. You're changing it because if you see here, it doesn't have X, right?
Okay.
It has to be executable. What we did here is we executed the file. If this was a 644 still, it won't run. So this is a built-in feature automatically any file is created, it's created with the permission 744, because what you're learning right now is it could be a virus. If you put some bad code in here, if you put a code like this.
Because what happened, like I remember the 755, this is the command for the folder, for the directory.
Okay, the directory 755 by default is 777 minus 2 is 755. That's a default permission for directory, but that doesn't mean it's only for directory. That's a very good question. That means you are learning this here. So the reason you learn 755 is if I create a blank directory right now,
Okay.
this is the permission is gonna have. Okay, did you get it?
Yeah, but it has nothing to do for what you do. Like now, just you need it for different case, like in the as a file. Okay.
Yeah, the reason that cd command may going into a directory called cd and then the directory name. If it's 644 or it's something else, if it doesn't have like an execute command in there, if it doesn't have like execute permissions, you won't be able to cd into it. Very good question, man. Let me explain that here, because I think it's crossing everybody's mind here. So let me open a duplicate session here, and then okay, I'm gonna make a directory name mkdir Bashar, and then let's take a directory permissions. No.
Let's LH.
Okay. Over here, Bashar, right? It's a directory, right?
Yes.
And it has a 755 permissions already in there. This is 755. Okay, let's put the directory permissions into 644, okay? Okay, so the directory permissions has changed to what the default is for the regular file. Regular file default is 644. This is 6, 4 plus 2 is 6, and 4 and 4. So what happens? The act of going into CD Bashar, let's see here. It has to be a executable file. So
yeah, I get you, because if it's file, it will not go. It will consider
it will not go. And if it's a user, if it's a regular user, they won't be able to go into the file name Bashar.
They will consider it as a file, and it will go through cat. Yes.
Exactly. Did you get it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so it says add two numbers. So it ran this command, and it's telling us it ran this command also, and it's asking us for a read num1. That means it's telling us to put a number in there. So we'll type a number 4, and then we can repeat it back. It says num1 is 4. Now it's asking us to read num2. So we'll give num2 3 and hit enter. So what happened? It read through num2 and then it gave us a result here. We type in num2 and then gave us a result as 3 for number 2. And then we read it from the memory of what we have typed. It's reading from the memory, echo num1 and num2. It's going back and reading num1 and num2. So it went back up here at this command is this command here. Did you get it? Echo, it read num1 is 4, num2 is 3. Now I did the sum here. It added up here, sum equals expression num1 and num2. Okay. So it did this, but it won't display it here because it did it in the background. And then we are displaying echo sum. So this has become, sum is a variable that has become the addition for this. So when we call sum, when we call this part only, it will bring up the result for this. So we did echo $sum1 and then it did, this is the result. Okay, and then it's doing the addition again. If it does the addition for num1 and num2 again, it's bringing up same thing here. Okay, and then let's see here, it's bringing again, we did with add, echo add this part here. This part we renamed it as sum, we renamed it, or we use another variable to bring us the same answer. So this is what the answer is. And then it's getting echo $, echo $. Okay, any questions so far? What we're going to do now is we're going to clean this up a little bit. I just wanted to show you how this works. So let's clean this up. Enter your name, read name. Okay. So what we could do is we could get a little bit fancy here. So it says here, enter your name, right? And we type the name here. Then we read what you typed in here. So we could get fancy here. What we could do is we could put in quotes and we'll say your name is. Do you see where this is going? It will start to make sense here when we run this, okay? And then let's see here. We don't need this. Okay. And we'll see. Let's add to number, okay? It will read that to you. And then we'll just leave this like this. And we could also do echo enter first number to add. Okay, we'll give it a name, read num1. And then we don't really have to do this here. Okay, enter second number to add, and we'll give it num2. All right, we don't need this, and we don't need this, and then we could get fancy here. Adding num1 and num2. Okay. And then okay. Are you guys confused yet?
No, you are trying just to make it like clear when you add this. I mean, the output. You are trying to make the output clear.
Yeah. Now it's going to be fun now. Okay.
As a question and answer.
X. Go ahead. What's the question?
No, I mean, you are trying to make it as like question and answer, the output.
Exactly, exactly. So I run this command here. It says enter your name. I type Chris. Okay, and it says your name is Chris. Okay, let's add two numbers. Enter first number to add. Okay, I type 3 and I hit enter. Enter a second number to enter. Okay, then I type 5 and I hit enter. Adding 3, 5. The result of addition is 8. Okay, it's not limited there. Let's go back up here and why just add? Can we do subtract? Okay, so let's see if we could this sign here, subtracting. Okay, let's run that script again. Enter your name, Bashar. All right, your name is Bashar. Let's add two numbers, 3, 5, and it's -1. We're actually doing it a subtraction.
So you can do it multiple times.
Oh, of course. Of course. You want to do multiply?
But you can you can do this only when you have duplicate like screen. Yes, you can't do it in one screen.
You could do it for you to visualize, and it's over here I'm same place and over here I'm same place. Both screens are same. Don't get confused.
Okay.
Okay, just visualize, not to go back and forth and do this, and just open up another session.
Okay, just to explain to us clearly. Okay, I get you.
Okay, for multiply, you have to do a slash and an asterisk. Okay, this is how the multiply works. You have to do a slash and an asterisk, then it will do the multiplication. All right, let's run that. Enter name, Chris. Enter a first number to add. It's just saying the text here because we have the text over here as add. Remember, don't worry about this, but the real thing is going to do this here. This part is dumb. dumb text. You could type anything in there. Okay, you could just type something like this, and then you have a virus in there, and you could like make people go crazy. You could put in like your IRS and you need some numbers, money. You could put that display in there, but don't do it, man, and don't blame me later. Okay, 5, enter, 2, enter. So it did a multiplication. Result of addition is multiplication. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this all color coded and put it in our notes in here. That way you get a clearer vision of what is happening. Okay, one thing I want to point out is whenever you start this script here, you come here in the blank space and type which bash. Okay, so this is really important. You will need to do this every time you start the screen. So when you are starting a bash script, what we did so far is called bash scripting. Okay, and then what you could do is you could do pound and a bang sign. This one here, when you hold the shift key and 1, it's a bang sign. It's called bang. So what we have typed so far is shebang. It's called shebang in the slang. And then you have to type this. Whatever the result is, when you type which bash, you have to type this here. Okay, this is how your screen should always start. Very first line, pound, and then bin bash. Any line that starts with a pound here is not readable. So if you have like a junk in here, the system is not going to read. Okay, so let's run that. And
is there like where you would comment out?
Comment out, exactly. That's the word I want to use, but I don't want to use at this moment.
Okay, sir.
You got it. Okay, so we run this, we put it out. It's called comment out. That's the technical term we use in our language. It's in daily life. Just comment it out. That means the script is not going to read it. Okay, so let's see here. I'm commenting out some. I'm putting a comment here. Okay, so let's cancel this and let's try again. And then let's go back in here and go through it. Okay, so it started here. It went through here. It's over here now. It ran this line. It is asking for the name. Type Chris. And then it ran this. Okay, it came along this line. And the moment it starts with a pound sign, it means nothing to the script. So skip that, and it ran this command, enter the first number to add, and then so it ran this line, let's add 2 numbers, and then it says enter a first number to add, and then you're telling the number to read, 5, 5, and since we have this as set as multiplication, it did a multiplication. All right, let's make it more appealing to the eyes here. So let's go down here. And if you want to have like a blank line in the middle, right here, let's add 2 numbers here. So if you want to make it like a readable. Okay, let's add 2 numbers, and then All right, let's run this here, see if it looks more readable here. It says enter your name, Chris, and then it says your name is Chris, and then let's add two numbers, enter your number 1, number 2, and then this is where the thing is. Now you see how this is like look more pleasing to your eyes. All right. Do you see here when you type in echo, you could also put some messages in here too. It will display it for you. Any questions?
When you write, don't display this junk. Like, I mean, what's the benefit of this comment?
Very good question. What's going to happen is later on, this is like the simplest thing you could think of. Later on, you'll be having some codes in here, okay? So in here, you could come in here and then you could do pound, and then you could write yourself some notes. This is multiplication. Okay, and then you could write yourself some notes here. This is nothing but keeping a notes on your script. Okay.
But as soon as you mention this, it will deactivate the command, yes?
Yeah, it will deactivate this. It won't read this because we already demonstrated it went through this line, but it didn't read through this. Okay, let's run that again. Enter name, Chris. Okay, and then it went through this. It displayed this, and then it went through this line. But since you started with the comment, it's not going to display here. And then it read this, and it's not going to read this because it started with comment. So it's going to skip this. It's not going to display that. Enter first number 4, and the second number 5. And since we have this as a multiplication, it's giving us as a 20. Any questions? So I want you all to, I can't stress enough here, go into the VI editor and then practice this. The more you do it, the better you get, because you will be writing some scripts in future, and you need to be able to like go up and down, cut it, like how I'm doing here. I'm doing like I type YY, and then I want to repeat that line here, so I just do PP. See, you don't have to like go up and down, delete all this here. Just type DD to delete the line, DD to delete the line here. And then here I don't want this thing here anymore, so I come up here, and then I'm holding down X, letter X on the keyboard, and then it's doing that for me. Okay, I just push U to undo it. I'm undoing it already here. Undo. It will go back to do undo until you have saved it. If you do this and exit out of it and you go back and you try to do undo again, it's not gonna keep those. Once you saved it, you done Word document. If you saved it, once you saved it, you can't undo it, right? Does it make sense?
Yes. Is there a limited number of undos? Like, sometimes it'll be like you only have 50 undos, or can you basically, as long as you haven't saved it, you can go back to the beginning of your script or the beginning of your session?
Yeah, I mean, the proof is right here. I did so many undos here. Each line is undo. The whole delete, if you did like delete 10 lines and then one undo,
right?
It's like one undo here, and I deleted so many characters here. These are each individual undos.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, I think you could pretty much save maybe 100, 200.
Okay. Hey, one question I had, the .sh, is that because it's bash script? I'm just wondering why it's not something that seems more like a script. Okay, okay.
Yes. It has to be .sh. If it's not .sh, it won't run.
Okay, now I was just wondering what the sh comes from, you know, if it's because of the end of bash, you know.
That's what it is, BASH.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
So what we did so far is called bash scripting. Next week is going to be fun. I will decide. Everybody text me individually for Saturday what time you want to start on Saturday, and then we'll decide, go back and forth, and make a firm decision later in the week how the Saturday is going to play out. Okay. All right. Any questions so far? We have 7 minutes, and if you guys could like join on time, that'd be really nice because we already wasted like 10 minutes already, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Bashar, you had a question during week. What was it?
When I did archive the folder, I see actually there is like something it doesn't run with me. I'm gonna try it again actually, and I will let you know if I get stuck again.
Yeah, it's always good to take a picture and put it in the chat. Then somebody will answer. If not, then I'll answer.
No, actually, because when I asked you, I was outside, like not in front of my laptop. That's why I couldn't I couldn't get it. But anyway, I will try again, and I will let you know if I get stuck.
Yeah. I'd. I mean, I couldn't stress more. These first two documents are really important. VI and basic commands. I'm going to clean this up a little bit, and then I'll let you know in the chat if this is cleaned up. And then some of the things I didn't cover, I'll remove it. I will add this as I cover it. Okay. Any questions for today? This is going to be getting very, very interesting.
Yeah, the scripting aspect of it gets really interesting, definitely.
Yeah, I guess I did have a question. So, and it's not really necessarily about this, but just in a hypothetical situation, like if you made a script and then you ran it in Linux, could you execute it in Windows?
I'm not sure. When I was in Windows, I was doing the VB script.
Okay.
But that's a good thing. You could try it on and let me know.
Yeah, no, because I'm just looking at some of the things because, like, for example, I'm relating with my current assignment that I'm working on, my regular job, and we have some PowerShell script that we run, and I was wondering if I created something using the script in Linux, if I could actually run that in Windows afterwards to do a certain command that I want to do or something like that. Because we have this situation where there's a certain program that we have to install, and when we install that program, then it runs through a couple of things. They're all GUI things, but when it gets it requires some input. Like the first thing when it runs, it says click next, and then you have to click accept, and then it runs through while it's installing. But when it gets to a certain point, then because of the PowerShell, whoever created the PowerShell, he didn't go back and edit it so that it runs the installation in compatibility mode. So I was thinking if I could edit that script, or if I could create a new script that would run something in compatibility mode, then I wouldn't have to run the installation twice.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't know, but the PowerShell is, I think, more dedicated to Windows environment.
Right. Yes, I know it is. So that's why I was curious if you create a script in Linux, would you be able to run that script against a Windows environment and get it to give you the results that you're looking for?
You could definitely try, but what did you save that as? We could try it now here. Hold on.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to try it here because the particular program that it's trying to install, we don't have that program, so there's no way that we could do it.
Well, not specific. We could run the one we have just created here.
Right. Oh, okay. You're saying try to run this in Windows and see if it works. Okay.
We'll save it as .vbs, right? Normally those are VBS scripts.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. So if it's going to be run in Windows, it has to be Visual Basic, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it may have some kind of. If you change it, let's see the permissions. Mm, mm.
There's read, write, execute. Yeah. Oh, that's system.
It has full.
Yeah, right. It has full permissions.
Yeah, I think you have to have a compiler. I'm not sure. I left
Okay,
over
so
Windows a little bit long ago, but I'm losing how it works.
yeah. Okay, so then
But
that's
definitely you try it out and let me know if it works.
okay.
All right, so it was a good class today. So hopefully we'll catch up on this. And then 3 or 4 more sessions, then we're gonna be in a really high gear because we have to complete all these. All this. There's gonna be a lot more in here. Okay.